Hello friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Because without you guys, well, this just doesn't work. Now, I got to tell you guys, things are heating up in the NFL. It is getting to be crazy out there. There's so much misinformation that's going on. Teams don't really want you to know what the plan is. You know, Here's the thing. If you're buying a car and they know that you want to spend $20,000 on that car, you're going to spend $20,000 on the car. You might want them to think that you only have 15 and then they get you down to, get you up to 17. You save money that way. And that's where we are right now. Now, this is what I try to do. Football is a crapshoot. Literally, nobody is always right. Seriously. Take a look at the mock drafts. How many of those players were they actually correct on where they're going to go? I mean, think about it. They said Russell Wilson, if you need a backup quarterback for a couple of games, he might be okay. Yeah, they were right about that one. How about Tom Brady? Yeah, they got that one. Tony Romo wasn't even drafted. So clearly, it's difficult. And the great thing is I got my day job. I would love to be able to do this as a full-time gig. I envy guys that get to do this as a full-time job. Talk about sports. I mean, talk about the dream job. I guarantee you, you would never find a scandal on me because I would protect having that job. I would be grateful to have that job. And it seems like once you get in, it don't matter what you do, you're still keeping that job. Now, Leon Felton, Leon is fantastic. Leon is one of those guys who end up helping me out a lot because I've got my day job and sometimes I miss stuff. He'll send me links and let me know, hey, you might want to check this stuff out. Charles Mayfield, he's another one. He asked me this morning, he said, can I kind of explain what the whole Earl Thomas thing is? What I really think is going on. And Leon sent me a link saying that Seattle wants a long-term deal with Earl Thomas because he's in their plans. Now that came from Ian Rapoport. Ian Rapoport that said that the Redskins were trading Kirk Cousins to the 49ers and then trading for Tony Romo. Ian Rapoport. Ian Rapoport who said that there were 6 instances of the police going to Des Bryant's house. That Ian Rapoport. Ian Rapoport who said that Mike Mularkey was getting an extension and got fired the next day. Ian Rapoport. That guy. That guy is wrong more than the weatherman. But for whatever reason, he's the expert out there. And they always go to it. So when you hear Ian Rapoport say anything, you kind of have to look at it with a side eye. And what I try and do, because again, who knows what's really right? I try and gather as much information as possible, go by what's happened in the past, and think about needs, because that's the key. And try and come up with my own conclusions. Forget about just always copying what everybody else thinks. And that's why sometimes I'll say stuff and you'll say, you're an idiot because here's what they're talking about. Okay, fair enough. I didn't go to ESPN's school of football. I wasn't a professional football player. I don't work for Bleacher Report. I'm not an insider. I'm Joe the fan like you. But I try and see and think about things. Because here's what I believe. If you want to trade Earl Thomas, you're not going to say, we'll trade Earl Thomas, we'll take a 4th round draft pick. You don't do that. You want to act coy. You want to make people work for it. Because here's what I know. Seattle had a great run. That defense of theirs was stellar. But that defense grew up basically all together. That defense, there's a little rift between the defense and the offense. Part of the reason why Chris Richard, I believe, is gone. Cliff Averill, defensive lineman, neck issues, retiring. Cam Chancellor says he wants to play if he's medically cleared, but truly on the downside of his career. Richard Sherman, who you tried to trade last year when you wanted a number 1 pick for him, ruptured Achilles tendon. Earl Thomas, a year ago before, broke his fibula. You got rid of your architect, and you're looking at all the key players on that defense getting old. That means it's time to rebuild. So they say, we want a long-term deal. But here's the key. They didn't say we're working on a long-term deal. They said we want a long-term deal. You might want a long-term deal that's $1 million a year. Hell, you may want Miss America for your girlfriend. But reality is you're not going to have her. It's deception. People are calling right now about Earl Thomas. So what are you doing? In eBay, it's called shilling. You put something out there and you have a second account. And you bid just a little, not too much. You don't want to put it out of there where people just walk away. But you cheat up the bid just a little bit. Because that guy that you know really wants that thing, he sees that number, oh man, I really only want to spend $200 for that. $225? Damn, I'll go $250. Deal. You got it. And you got more than what you would have gotten without shilling. That's where Seattle is. Because here's the reality. Seattle's looking at an over-the-hill defense that have pieces that need to be replaced. But guess what? Seattle is hurting for draft picks. This year, no second. That's gone. No third round draft pick. That's gone. And no 6th round draft pick. As we have 10 draft picks, they got 4. So yeah, they're going to put out there, man, we're keeping him. We're not thinking about trading him. He's our guy in our long-term future. To drive up the price. They want to get as much as possible because he's one of the few commodities they have to try and increase what they need. Understand that's what it is. Because he's under contract, although he said he won't come back without a long-term contract. You think they're going to, knowing that they're hurting for cash, they're going to give him a bigger contract? No. They want to move Earl Thomas, and they want to get as much as possible. And that's what they're trying to do. At least, that's my conclusion. Now, I know I am no Ian Rapoport. I don't run Rap Sheet. I am Joe the fan like you, but I'm trying to think through and come up with my own conclusions on what's really going on. We'll have to wait and see who's right. But my bet is Seattle wants to play. And right now, they're sweating it out. They want to move Earl Thomas. But guys, there's going to be a whole lot of stuff going on between now and Tuesday next week because free agency is here. Teams are jockeying for positions, and they're trying to get over on each other. So hold on to your hats and be ready to go on that ride because it's going to be fun. I'm Mark Holmes. This is Cowboy Jobu, and thank you guys for watching the Jobu Sports Report. Hey friends, Cowboy Jobu here at the Jobu Report. The Dallas Cowboy fans are elated. The Redskins fans, not so much. How about them Cowboys? Wait a minute.
They had the most comfortable hats.
What the fuck? Talk about your confused fans. But who cares? The Dallas Cowboys beat the Washington Redskins for the 3rd time in a row at FedEx. Gotta love it.